From Plessis. Spinning back fist by the champion.
Here's the elbow.
Beautiful elbow by the champion. That was nice.
Well. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you guys the African King, the next Black Panther, Dricus du Plessis, was going to win against Sean Strickland. Now, unfortunately, he didn't get the submission, I said submission slash kind of ground and pound in sort of the third or fourth round. Did I say third or fourth and fifth? Anyways, I said he was going to get a late round finish. He didn't get it, but he still dominated this fight. And I also picked Zhang Weili, and she won as well. So we're going to get right into it. Make sure you guys like and sub. And yeah, I thought overall the pay-per-view was solid. I thought it was better than I thought, but I kind of thought it was going to be just really flat, but it ended up being pretty solid. And I also went 7-4 on picks, which is not bad. I would have went 8-3 if they would have given Rodolfo the fight against Jimmy Crute, but we'll get to that. I want to start with the main fights. Dricus du Plessis versus Sean Strickland. Dricus du Plessis, he's just phenomenal. He's phenomenal. I told you guys he was going to beat Sean Strickland. I told you guys even like before I did my prediction video. I did a whole separate video saying that I think Dricus is not only going to beat Strickland but Hamzat. And now I'm seeing people say he might beat Hamzat. So stay on that side, guys, because I picked Dricus to beat Strickland and Hamzat way before all you guys. No, but seriously, Dricus looked really good in this fight. He did pretty much what I thought he would. He looked improved. He threw a couple of spinning elbows, but really what I thought worked for him was the body kicks. I thought the body kicks were really, really, really effective this fight. Now, don't get me wrong, Strickland has a hell of a chin. Hell of a chin. He doesn't have a hell of a nose anymore, though, because that shit he got a Justin Gaethje nose now, but no, but seriously, he has a really, really great chin. He was able to really take some fucking insane shots from. One thing that I thought Dricus, honestly, the kicks overall in this fight for Dricus was his best weapon, and that's one thing I thought he did best was not only throwing body kicks, but he threw a lot of head kicks. He just threw them. He just threw a lot of head kicks, and obviously he just felt a lot more. He was just letting his hands go a lot more. I don't really know how else to break it down, man. This was a much, much better, improved Dricus du Plessis compared to the last fight, where in the last fight with Strickland, it's not like he looked bad or anything, but he just let it get too close. He was a little more gun shy. I don't know. This fight, I thought he was gonna wrestle more, so I kind of got that wrong. He didn't really wrestle. Um, but still, I think he could have probably went for a takedown when he rocked Strickland. When he kind of broke his nose and he was kind of like teeing off, I think he could have probably went for a takedown and tried to finish him on the ground. But still, he was doing real, real well on the feet throughout from the first round to the fifth round. Just body kicks, head kicks. Just I don't know. It's just a flawless performance from Strickland or from du Plessis. Not from Strickland. Strickland, he just didn't look good this fight, I thought. I thought Strickland, comparatively to the first fight, he was very gun shy. He wasn't letting his hands go. He was I think the staph, I do think he had staph infection. I think that actually reinforced my pick even more. I think his staph infection definitely didn't allow him to sort of just move forward and just be the pressure fighter that he usually is. And he was backing up for a lot of this fight as well. He definitely was. He definitely was not walking down du Plessis. It was the opposite. Du Plessis was walking him down, and again, the kicks in this fight were just phenomenal from du Plessis. I think that's actually probably his best weapon now is those body kicks, those leg kicks, those head kicks. Especially for a guy as fucking jacked as Dricus du Plessis, for him to just have such good kicks is really, really, really impressive and really obviously just goofy of him. Like just this big swole guy just throwing these kicks, but he looked phenomenal, man. Dricus looked phenomenal. He threw this wicked spinning elbow as well, which was really cool. and it was just a phenomenal performance from Dricus du Plessis. Just absolutely phenomenal performance. And I still believe he's going to beat Hamzat Chimaev even more after this performance. I truly believe he beats Hamzat Chimaev. I know some people are going to maybe disagree with me and say, oh no, he's not going to be able to deal with the takedowns and he's not going to be able to. I disagree. I think, look, Hamzat is a phenomenal wrestler, but he's also one of the best first round fighters. Because once you get past that first round, your chances of winning this fight increase and increase and increase. Look at the Kamaru Usman fight. I know he beat Kamaru Usman, but it wasn't like what Dricus did to Strickland. It was a lot closer. He went to war with Gilbert Burns. I just think Dricus is going to be able to beat Hamza, and I'm way more confident after this performance that that is going to be the case. Honestly, I'm not trying to do like I'm not trying to be like, because I know everyone is picking Hamza, even though I've seen people change their tunes now, but most people are and were picking Hamza. But I'm not trying to be like a contrarian and be like, oh no, I think no, I truly believe Dricus is going to beat Hamzat Chimaev. I just think he's as strong as Hamzat. Like a lot of I'm kind of doing a Hamzat Chimaev Dricus breakdown here. Just real quick, I just want to say, like, I just think Hamzat, a lot of his best, how do I say, his best attribute, one of his best attributes is his strength. He's one of the strongest guys in the UFC. Guess what? So is Dricus. So, anyways, we could do a whole separate thing on that, but well, I already did. If you want to check out my prediction for that fight, I kind of already did a separate video. Um, but yeah, he beat Strickland. Great prediction by me, and great prediction by everyone who picked Dricus. If you pick Strickland, so yeah, I got that pick right. And then obviously the co-main event, Zhang Weili and Tatiana Suarez. I also got this pick right. I thought this was kind of just I thought this was a lot more obvious actually. I thought this was a pretty obvious pick. Like obviously Zhang Weili was going to be Tatiana Suarez, dude. Like no offense to Tatiana Suarez. She's a phenomenal fighter. She has a phenomenal story and all that. But just talking about this fight, looking at it on paper, shout out to Anthony Smith. Fuck Anthony Smith. Don't shout him out. I got a burp, wait. Looking at this fight on paper, like Zhang Weili has been way more active than Tatiana Suarez. Dude, Tatiana Suarez's last fight was in August of 2023, I believe. 2023, almost 2 years she hasn't fought. And she's had, for most of that time, or at least for half of that time, she's been nursing an injury or injuries, multiple injuries, because she's pulled out of, I believe, 2 bouts. So she's been injured like half her time out. Whereas Zhang Weili, she fights once a year. Her last fight was in, I believe, June of last year. Like it was one of those months, but it was early last year, right? But still, Zhang Weili's not injured. She's just training, 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 training. Like she's getting better every fight. So I knew she was going to beat Tatiana Suarez. I didn't know she was going to offensively wrestle, but I knew she was going to be able to not get held down. I knew she was going to do well on the feet. She's a much better striker than Tatiana. I was pretty confident. I'm not going to lie. I forget if I picked Zhang Weili by decision or by a submission. I believe it was a decision, but I believe it was a decision. Excuse me, FCT. But yeah. Anyways, Zhang Weili. Yeah, just a phenomenal performance by her. I don't know, like there's not much to say here. It didn't really surprise me. I think the Dricus performance surprised me a little more, low key. This performance didn't surprise me because I just felt like, yeah, honestly, I was more surprised at what Dricus did to Strickland than what Zhang Weili did to Tatiana. Because I just felt like, okay, Zhang Weili, she's been more active. Tatiana's been out for almost 2 years. She's coming off of a layoff and off of multiple injuries. She's getting a title shot. It's the biggest fight of her career. She's never fought anyone as good as Zhang Weili. Whether that's on the feet, whether that's on the ground. Like, she's just never faced anyone as good as Zhang Weili, as well-rounded as Zhang Weili. So I knew this was going to happen, and I was very confident in this happening. I don't really understand. Just like the Strickland pick, I don't get anyone who picked Tatiana Suarez. I'm not gonna judge anyone who picks any fight because I get picks wrong too. My dumb ass picked fucking Umar to beat Marab, which I regretted the day of the fucking card. But anyways, Zhang Weili with a bit of an unsurprising performance, but phenomenal nonetheless. And I just want to say, her versus Valentina Shevchenko should absolutely be next. There's just not much there. Like, it's just make that fight next. If Shevchenko wants to fight like Manon Fiorot, whatever her name is, make that fight, and then the winner of that should face Zhang Weili. Or hopefully the winner of that is Shevchenko. Hopefully. Oh, and I forgot to mention, by the way, sorry, but Dricus called out Alex Pereira also after his call out, or after his fight. He called out Pereira, which was kind of weird because the cameraman didn't even. They kind of botched it like the UFC always does. But, anyways, kind of moving down a little bit, like Tafa. He got knocked out by Towson Teixeira. The Tafa brothers are shit. Like, I'm sorry. They just are. They're not good fighters. And Towson Teixeira's, this guy's pretty good. He looks kind of retarded. No offense to him, but he does look kind of like this big dumb retard. But he's good. He's good. So, yeah. I got that pick wrong, but I don't give a fuck. It's Justin Tafa. Jimmy Crute, Rodolfo Bellato. I picked Rodolfo. I got this pick wrong technically because it was a draw. Technically I got this pick wrong. Yeah, I don't know. Jimmy Crute. It was a fun fight. It was a fun fight, but yeah, Rodolfo. They didn't give him the win. Jake Matthews versus Francisco Prado. Jake Matthews looked pretty good. I got that pick right. Jack Jenkins, Gabriel Santos, all of us Jack Jenkins enjoyers, including myself. I picked Jack Jenkins, obviously, just like most of us did. But no, he got submitted in the third round. I think he was a bit, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of crashing out. I don't even bet money on these fights. I don't even think I legally can. I don't bet money, um, on these fights. But I was crashing out as if I did. Because Jack Jenkins, why the fuck are you trying to grapple with this guy? Dude, you're literally a really good striker. Like, I don't know. I was just kind of upset that he was like, I believe he literally got submitted because he initiated the takedown. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I'm pretty sure that's how he got submitted. So I got this pick wrong, but that was a fun fight though, still. Tom Nolan, Verislav Borshev. I'm a Borshev enjoyer, but I did pick Tom Nolan. I'm not really surprised by this one. It was still a fun fight, but and Borshev he's a tough motherfucker. He's a tough guy, but unfortunately he's just not really at that level, even to beat a guy like Tom Nolan or Chase Hooper. Unfortunately, so yeah, I got that pick right though, which is cool. Wang Kong. Okay, let's talk about this real quick, and then obviously we're gonna get to Topuria as well, which I'm excited to talk about. Wang Kong. Why the fuck, first of all, was commentary calling her Wang Tong? Tong, Tong. Or Wong. No, they were saying Wong Tong. Like Wong Tong soup. I'm not even trying to be like, that's what they were saying. I swear on everything. John Anik and Daniel Cormier kept calling her Wong Tong. I have no idea why. I don't know if they legitimately just forgot her name. I don't know if they were doing some sort of weird bit. I don't know if she changed did she change her name and we don't know about it. I have no idea. But they were calling her Wong Tong. Yeah. So Wang Kong, I'm gonna call her what it's written on in front of my face. Pause. Wang Kong beat Bruno Brazil. I picked Wang Kong to beat Bruno Brazil. I love Bruno Brazil guys, but and I love the fighting nerds. Like the fighting nerds are awesome. But this is not that surprising at all. I mean, Wang Kong just shut her down, and yeah, she pretty much just yeah. I mean, she just did what I expected her to do. It wasn't really a particularly exciting fight, but Bruno Brazil just kind of got her leg chewed up, and Bruno Brazil's leg kicks herself weren't bad. She threw a couple good leg kicks early on in the fight, but yeah, just Wang Kong is. I think Wang Kong will be something. Let's say that. I think after her last performance, she might have got a little bit too, whatever you want to call it, maybe too comfortable or whatever the case may be. She was feeling herself a little too much. Pause. But now she fought Bruno Brazil. I think this is good, and hopefully it gets her maybe a ranked opponent because Bruno Brazil was coming off of 2 wins, I believe. So yeah. Um, I got that pick right. Kobe Thickness versus Alexandre Topuria. I thought I thought this was a fun fight. I thought Topuria did kind of what I thought. I think my prediction was that I said Topuria was gonna win, but it wasn't gonna be like an easy. performance. Let's just say that, or an easy fight, I should say. It was going to be a bit of a. It was going to be not a war. I didn't say a war, but I said thickness will be in the fight. Like he'll be there. It won't be like first round knockout. And I was right. Alexander Topuria, he looked good, but Kobe Thickness, he was still there. He was still in the fight. He was still doing all right. But yeah, Topuria, he showed to me um that he's good. He's UFC level. I saw some people say he's overrated after this, and he's actually not good. And I was kind of annoyed by that. Like, I think he looked good enough in this fight. It's only his fucking debut. Like, I don't need the guy to go out there and get a first round knockout, which he almost did. I'm pretty sure he dropped Thickness in the first round. I hate this guy's name, Colby Thickness. Who names their kids that? But he looked good. He looked good. Topuria looked really good, and I think he'll do good in bantamweight. Hopefully, I hope he fucking runs through guys like Payne Talbot. You guys know I don't like Payne Talbot. I told you guys all he was gonna get fraud checked. So I'm not wrong this year, guys. Um, but no. Topuria, he looked good. He looked good, and I don't know. It was cool to see Volk there. It was cool to see Topuria, the other Topuria, Ilya Topuria. It was cool to see that him in the corner there. Yeah, I don't know. It was a good performance by Topuria, and hey, maybe you could just do him versus Peyton Talbot next, or even like a Heine Barcelos or something. I don't know. That would be kind of interesting. But he looked good. Like I was, and I want to say this too, bro. The guy literally fights like Ilya. They have the same like kind of stance. It's so funny. It's so funny. And then Rong Zhu, Cody Steele. Oh yes, let's talk about this fight. Now I picked Cody Steele, which is dumb of me because initially I picked Rong Zhu, and then I was just like, no, I'm gonna go Cody Steele. I kind of regret doing that, but it's okay. It was still a fun fight. Fight of the night, obviously. Rongzhu is very, very, very good. Um, and so is Cody Steele. Cody Steele has a fucking hell of a chin. I will say that Cody Steele has a hell of a chin, but I just think Rongzhu. I just feel like his punches were just cleaner. He just landed cleaner. He had tighter, just pause, but tighter. He just had tighter shots. He just was a bit cleaner. Cody Steele was a bit more wild. Like, yeah, Cody Steele has a hell of a fucking chin though. And this was just a war. I would definitely recommend of any fight on this card. This is the fight you guys should watch. It's only 3 rounds. It's a really fun fight. One of the best fights of the year so far. Which unfortunately, I feel like this year has not had that many great fights. I think Marab and Umar is my favorite fight of the year. Um, there's another one that I'm not thinking of. Was Jared Cannonier Baraujo this year? No, it was last year. Well, I love that fight as well, but that wasn't this year. But yeah, anyways, Cody Steele Rongzhu, one of the best fights of the year. Please check this fight out. It was awesome. And I got this pick wrong, but who gives a fuck? It was awesome. Rongzhu is pretty good. Jonathan McClaff, Jonathan McAuliffe versus Kevin Jusay. I picked Jonathan McAuliffe. Um, and yeah, this was pretty much, this was pretty much what I expected. It was a good fight, fun fight. Not as good as Rongzhu Cody Steele, but it was a good fight. And Jonathan McAuliffe just kind of just I don't know, he out kickboxed Kevin Jusay. This was a lot more of a kickboxing fight than a boxing fight. He threw a lot of good high kicks. I think Jusay's he was kind of blocking the kicks, but because of his look at the size of the guy's neck or the length of his neck, pause. He's just so tall and rangy that it's like even if he blocks the head kick, it still kind of goes over the top. So McAuliffe was able to constantly catch Jusay with head kicks, and yeah, Jusay has a good chin, but he just couldn't really do enough. He was doing all right in the third round. I thought like he could have done something, but obviously he's an MMA fighter and they're all retarded. So no, but seriously, it was a good performance by McAuliffe and a really really fun fight. Not as good as the Cody Steele fight though. And then obviously we're gonna end here with Quillen Salkilled versus Ansho Jabli, the Redeemer. Do not redeem, sir. Do not fucking redeem, sir. Um, Ansho Jabli got knocked out in like 19 seconds. Yeah, he's the only Indian fighter, I believe. Well, I believe there's a women's one too. I believe that the UFC does have an Indian women's fighter, right? But Yeah, he's one of the only Indian fighters in the UFC, and he's now it was kind of early. I'll be honest, it was kind of early, and I said this on my Twitter, which I have a Twitter, guys, now, or X Twitter. It's called BXG MMA. It's literally the same name as my YouTube. So if you just type that in, you'll find it, or it's linked in my YouTube bio thing. Um, I try to tweet on it now. I'm trying to. I have fun tweeting on there, but nonetheless, Anshul Jabli. Yeah, sorry. For all you Anshul Jabli enjoyers, he got smoked by Quillen Salkill. But yeah, I was gonna say it is an early stoppage. It was an early stoppage. I'm not gonna lie to you, but who gives a fuck? It's Anshul Jabli. Like who? Like, but it was early. Like he literally got dropped, and I know like when he got dropped, he kind of like it was a really like he got dropped bad. But then he did grab a single leg. Like he did have a single leg to be fair, but he probably would have got stopped anyway. So it is what it is. That was that fight, and I got that pick right as well. So that's cool, I guess. Overall, I thought the card was pretty good. I thought it was good. I wouldn't say pretty good. I thought it was good. Just good. No pretty good. No, it was good. Okay, I thought it was good. I thought Duplessis Strickland was a much better fight than their first fight. I thought Zhang Weili's performance was phenomenal. I thought some of the other fights were fun. Justin Tafa sucks. Anshul Jabli sucks. So you had a couple of those. But overall, I thought the card was good, better than I thought. But still, now we move on to UFC 313, where Ankalaev will fraud check. No, oh my God, where Pereira will fraud check Ankalaev. I'm not picking Ankalaev, guys. I'm not picking Ankalaev. Anyways, make sure you guys like and sub. I'll see you guys next time, and yeah. I don't know. Shout out Dricus Du Plessis. He's gonna fucking smoke Hamza Chimaev. I'm excited. See you guys. Peace. And